Mavericks. Today's a toy review. I hope you like and subscribe. And check out more videos. Comment your favorite moment. But let's get on to it. The original 1988 TMNT. Alright, so let's review all of them. So, I'm going to start off. I don't have the full figures. So, originally, the full series came up with Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, April O'Neil, and Splinter. And then for the bad guys, you had my boy Shredder, you had Rocksteady, and you had Bebop, and you had a foot soldier, which I apparently haven't been able to find, but I will someday get a foot soldier. And you had, that's pretty much it. And you had the party wagon and the blimp. Those were the original characters. So anyways, let's get on to the review. The first thing I would say about these figures, they look a lot like the comics. Like the comic ones. Because they have no eyes. Guys, they have no eyeballs. Like, they're literally Batman. You know what I mean? Or Spider-Man. Or like, something like that. Now, the thing about these figures, this released 30 years ago. And these are the soft heads. The first version of the Ninja Turtles. Now, I'll explain. Back in the day, like in 1988, Playmates Toys had a bunch of like He-Man and random like pieces. And they decided to just grab the molds and make these figures. And they decided soft heads if the series failed. So basically, in the 80s, cartoons were to sell toys. That was the goal of companies. That's why toy companies made almost like $1 billion off of this. And it was like super crazy. And basically, they just grabbed rubber heads and just decided, let's do this. It's really cool of a feature, but the fact that it hasn't intoxicated or something bad has happened to the face in like the past 30 years, like in like 4 more years, these boys about to be 50 years old. Like, that is mind-blowing. But basically, the thing about these figures were they weren't made that good. Like, I know today's quality with NECA and all the new companies that be making TMNT, it's like the best. Now, the thing about it was their weapons. Their weapons would easily break. Like, Raphael right here, he lost a sai. Yeah, bro.
I lost a sai!
Anyways, besides the sai, you had Michelangelo, you had Donatello, you had Shredder, and you had Bebop and Rocksteady. Fortunately, I don't have Rocksteady because I traded him like 4 years ago. And that's just shocking how time flies. Basically, these figures are not good at standing. I'm going to put Shredder, for example. Look. Bruh. Dude, like, literally flops. He goes like that. He needs this wall to help him stand. It's not the same with Bebop. Bebop's kind of. But, like, you have to be very, very careful how you place these figures. And that's crazy. Because, like, what? Now, I think Raphael should have been the easiest guy to pose. Because he has all flat feet. But apparently he's not. None of these figures are easy to place. And they're very frustrating at times. But it's okay. We're hanging in there. So, I'm going to compare all of these. I have Leonardo. And thankfully, he's the only Ninja Turtle that I have complete. He has his original weapons. His belt's not broken. And none of the figure parts are missing. So to me, this is the most valuable turtle I have in my collection. Because, dude, the things are still there. His katanas are still there. Other than that, he's a real nice looking figure. Of course, he has the soft head. I try not to because he had cracking in his eye. And yes, he was bleeding from his eye blue. But that's what happens 30 years later. And he's got a little smear on his mouth. But other than that, really nice. And he is a real good figure to keep. I really like Leonardo. He's not my favorite turtle, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. And of course, I already talked about Raphael missing his sai. The craziest thing is he has, for like, I don't know what you call this. I'm going to try to take it off to show y'all. What is this? Comment down below what kind of weapon rack thing this is, bro. That is really strange. But I guess he has a spot for this. You just put it right there. It's like a saw. And then Michelangelo, you will notice he is not a soft head. The reason is because I traded him because I didn't like the yellow he had. I like this one better because of the yellow and overall appearance. My soft head Michelangelo was alright, but he's better. He's a 1989 version, which is 1 year later after Playmates was like, yeah, we done with the soft heads. So I think he's really good. Of course, he's missing his nunchucks because they snapped into a million pieces. I've lost so many pieces of them. And like, what? Donatello is also another complete figure. Sorry, Shredder. Fill the foot. His head is soft. He still has it in him. You already know he's built like that. But other than that, he doesn't have his thing with his rack. Like his weapon rack isn't there. And he's also discoloring, which is kind of wild. But he still has his bow staff. But yeah. And then Shredder. Guys, Shredder is just, he's real nice. I had to hot glue him several times because his legs were broken when I bought him. Apparently. But Shredder, he didn't have a shirt in the original like toy set, which is kind of odd because the TV series did have one. And he's just showing his like Super Jack physique. This is really I think this is a strange version of Shredder. He still has his cape, thankfully. But yeah, and then we got my boy Rocksteady. And he's a rhino ready to fight. He has his all weapons and he's a complete figure. So he's on the same value as Leo, which is pretty good. His head though is a squishy head because he's the first variant, but I guess it hardened over time. And a little discolored, but not too bad. He's got his city sewer shell thing. And he's ready to rock and roll. But yeah. I hope you guys like and subscribe and enjoy the video. And it's radical, dude.